Alright, welcome to the video today. So before I start talking about some of the things in this video, I didn't want to make this a complaining video because I know there's a lot of those out on the internet. The Bungie forums are full of people that are really mad, and they're saying like, Bungie, you ruined PvP with the last update. But honestly, there's not really that many problems. I think what they had going before, which maybe some people didn't like, was the whole hand cannon meta, you know, Thorn, Hawkmoon, and Last Word. And then finally, once they nerfed those to the ground to the point where they're, you know, pretty much unusable, and Hawksaw, even though it's more of a long-range weapon, had an advantage even at pretty close-range gunfights. People didn't really like it when Last Word came back in 2.1.0, and there's I don't know, I was on a road trip for the past few days, so that's why I haven't really been making videos. And while I was on that road trip, I was on, you know, the Bungie app, and when I would go in the forums, like, I would see people saying how PvP is the worst it's ever been. And keep in mind, this is probably the most severe posts, even including 1.0. So apparently people think that PvP right now is worse than it was in the vanilla, I guess that 8-month period where Thorn, Last Word, and Shotgun and Blade Dancer were dominant. I'm not quite sure if they're saying that it's the lag that's the worst part, but I have seen a lot of people get mad about Sniper Aim Assist, Sunsingers, Thorn, and Last Word, especially now that burns stack. So if you shoot someone with one firebolt and one Thorn shot, they're going to burn out. If you get a melee on someone and a Thorn, it's going to burn out every single time simply because the burn stack now. Same thing goes, maybe you're fighting like a Sunbreaker or something. If you get a melee and a grenade on them with a Sunslinger, those two burns stack on top of one another. So it's like the same thing as Viking Funeral, except for now it does 14 damage every tick. Well, it's not going to say 14 damage, but there's a ton of 7s popping up. And just Sunslinger overall now is probably the best option you can go with. And that's kind of where the broken stuff is. People think shotguns are too good. I think shotguns are kind of in the right range right now, especially if you're playing with Last Word. You can shut them down pretty easily. But I don't know. I feel like the update that they did to pulse rifles was kind of necessary. They had pretty much unlimited range. The main thing I didn't like about them was that you couldn't pair them with a sniper, because the main thing about, you know, the last meta was Thorn and Last Word. You had the Thorn shotgunners and then the Last Word snipers. Last Word could kill shotgun, and then Thorn is what, you know, they'd challenge a sniper with, or Last Word or whatever. But in that pulse rifle meta, I played a Titan shotgun for I think about the first month of it or so, and that's when I really liked it. I liked Red Death and Party Crasher on a Striker Titan, and that's kind of what I used for a while. And when the update first came out, it was kind of like that 1 week period between the patch coming out and the Taken King being released, so there's no Hawksaw, no PDX. It was just kind of that nice little dynamic between the Red Death, the Bad Juju, and then Mida multi-tool. You had Red Death, which is a little bit more long range, shoots slower, and then you had the Bad Juju, which is something you'd run at someone with. It's like a little SMG. I kind of liked how those work together and how you could pair different ones depending on what you wanted to do, and they're all had their different advantages in different situations. For example, like Mida, there wasn't really much of a reason to use it, because if they're at, you know, Destiny's maps are only so big, and Mida's range wasn't really that distinct in comparison to Hawksaw. And Hawksaw and PDX were kind of the thing that ruled PvP. You couldn't snipe against them because of the flinch. And overall, I ended up switching to Last Word when I started sniping. Of course, initially, like I said, I was using a Hawksaw and a shotgun on my Titan, and then once I switched, I figured when you're playing against really good people, you can't really run it as well. I guess if you're in a random match, not playing a quote-unquote competitive or a sweaty match in Destiny, you can still use Hawksaw and stuff. But when you have really good people that are shotgunning, running at you, there's not a fantastic way to counter it. So right now, what I kind of like to see done is Sunsinger's kind of balanced. I kind of like where hand cannons are, because hand cannons are a really unique meta. They're not really in any other game. So I think keeping that unique to Destiny would be important. But one of the big complaining points on the forums, because, you know, shotguns were nerfed, is snipers. Snipers are overpowered now, apparently. The aim assist is too much, which I kind of agree with, in all honesty. If you can get with 1,000 yard stare with hidden hand, a rifled barrel, I'm pretty sure the aim assist can go up to like 90 or something, or even with like snapshot and hidden hand. I was playing around with an account that had one on it, and it's pretty ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. It puts people that are trying to use like an LDR or just maybe a Her Benevolence without hidden hand and an ambush sight or something at a disadvantage. And I don't think that necessarily they should lower all base aim assist on snipers. I'd say maybe lower it a little bit on something like an LDR and a Benevolence, at the most. Maybe not even lower it at all, but get the snipers that have the ridiculous aim assist like Shadow Veils and 1000 yard stare, and then kind of put them on par with the other snipers, so that you don't, because you feel like you're putting yourself at a disadvantage if you use anything other than 1000 yard stare right now, unless you have a really good roll on your LDR or something. But right here I'm just using the store-bought one that you could have got from the vendor for the Vanguard vendor way back when in the dark below. But I don't know, I feel like PvP is pretty good right now. The lag is pretty insane, which can be annoying. The connection over the holidays has been pretty poor. But yeah, that's kind of the few things that I think they should change in PvP. Just kind of a quick little summary. I think that they need to lower the, aim assist on the high aim assist snipers. They need to do something with Sunsingers. I don't know, decrease Viking Funeral, something like that. But for the most part, I think PvP is pretty balanced. Strikers got that buff where you do, I think it's like 150 something for your melee, but I can't really complain about that. Their melee was pretty garbage for a while, so we'll kind of let them have their time. But yeah, that's kind of gonna wrap it up for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you disagree with me, then let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.